Have you ever had a day where you feel like you can't find anything in your closet to wear? Having a uniform might be more useful than we think. Throughout middle school and elementary school, I wore uniforms, and then in high school, I did not. I have experience with both. Uniforms in school are more useful. Fitting in with style is tricky. Girls have trouble all the time with dress codes. You can't show your shoulders, your dress has to be a certain length, and it seems like most times girls are usually getting picked on for what they wear more often than boys. And that's just because we have a stricter guideline, which makes things harder on them. There's also more bullying in schools because of clothes. It might be because she has on this and you don't have on this. Sometimes you can't afford justice and you get picked on for that. It's funny because I had talked to my mom about it, and she said that when she worked at the schools and we had casual dress days in elementary and middle school, there were usually more issues on those days because kids couldn't focus in class. You were focused on what someone else was wearing. Maybe that girl had on justice and you really wanted that top, or maybe you had on the same thing and you were possibly angry about that. There's less focus on school. You're focusing on who has on what, or maybe, as I said in the beginning, a girl's shoulders were out and someone said that now they couldn't focus. So now she is sent out of class and she can't be in class because of something that she has on, so other people are able to study, but she's missing out, which makes it difficult. Now that we have seen the problems, let's look at the solution. Uniforms make getting ready easier, and it also causes less issues. Sanchez did a study, and he says girls had more of a benefit from uniforms, which is a very good point. They're no longer getting in trouble because they just put on their polo and maybe their khaki pants. There's no issues with meeting guidelines because you buy a certain uniform from a store, and as long as it meets your school's guidelines, maybe a white polo and khakis, you're okay. And you're not worried about if your shoulders are out because they're not going to be with a uniform. Lake from Credit Donkey did a study and did stats on pros and cons of uniforms. He says that 79% more students felt safer with uniforms. It's interesting because there's no longer bullying with uniforms because you're not focused on someone's justice clothes that maybe you didn't have or maybe you couldn't buy. There's also less gang involvement in lower income areas, and it's been seen that uniforms help those areas out more. There's no more focus on who's wearing what. You are able to focus more on school when you have uniforms on. You are able to see what your teacher is saying and what they're showing you on the board, or what they're trying to get their point across to you, because you're not looking at someone else's shoes maybe from across the room. Now that we have seen our solution, we can look into the benefits that we might receive from uniforms. And it's been seen that there's less of a battle for parents in the morning. There's not an argument about what your kids need to put on in the morning. You're able to just grab your uniform and you're good for the day. It's not, Mom, you didn't wash my pink shirt. Why is it dirty? Because I wanted to wear it today. No, it's put on your polo, your pants, maybe your sweater and skirt, and then you're good. You also have a set amount of clothes. So, like I had said, it's not about if something was dirty or not. It's also more cost effective for families. If you would just go in for the next year, buy uniforms, so then you buy maybe just enough for the week. So then if you do have something get stained or whatever, you just wash an extra one, and then you go back to the store and buy another one for the week. You are also able to bargain shop with uniforms, and no one cares because you can't tell who has on what. It can also be an equalizer for students. Like I had said, it's not about money now. You're able to have everyone be on the same level. There's no difference between higher incomes and lower income students. Everyone looks the same. After looking at how uniforms affect students, we should only do what is best for them. We went over how fitting in with style is tricky, how uniforms make getting ready easier and cause less issues, and also how reaping the benefits.